Hello, hello, and welcome. Let's talk about Fantastic Four. First steps. So, the movie in a nutshell. Invisible Woman and Reed Richards are having a baby, but the baby is not a normal baby. It's a super baby. And we have a villain, of course, called Galactus, and he literally eats planets with the help of Silver Surfer, who is scouting planets for him. And he said that, okay, I will eat or I will get the baby. I don't know what did he want to do with the baby. I will get the baby, and in return, I'm not going to eat your planet. Okay, of course they didn't agree on it, and then there were so many fights happening, but at the end, Fantastic Fours are winning, and Franklin, the little child, is safe. The good thing is that the whole movie was very entertaining, and there were not even 1 second that I thought, the movie is boring. No. So they really got the good pace, and their storytelling was perfect. There were a little bit less Marvel humor in the whole movie, but let's be honest, this is not something that you expect from Fantastic Four to be super funny. If it was a Thor movie, let's say, yeah, I would expected it, but not in Fantastic Four. So it would be something nice to have, but not necessarily needed to be there. So this was fine. And also there were some scientifically wrong facts, physically, in the physics law, but you're not watching a documentary, right? So it doesn't bother you. So, but these are really the little things. And at the end, it was fine. The scenery was in 50s, 60s, so it is somehow retro, but at the same time also futuristic. So it was a retro futuristic, the clothes that they were wearing, they were the 50s, 60s, and suddenly you were seeing a flying car. And so the contrast was making it very joyful. The villain also, so he was huge, mechanical, in my opinion, it somehow even fits to that 50s, 60s theme, let's say. It was interesting, but let's be honest. So if I need to list my top 10 villains, he would not end up in the list. So I guess, but this is good also, because if you think about the movie, the villain is not necessarily the highlight of the movie. And if you think about the movie, you're just thinking mostly about the Fantastic Four. It's not like Avengers, that Thanos, for example, is playing a big role. Okay, maybe Galactus was even worse than Thanos, because Thanos was eliminating half of the population, and Galactus literally wanted to eat the whole population. But somehow the way that they were making him look in the movie, he was not that threatening to me, and he was not that highlighted that I say that, oh my god, Galactus. It was just nice, that's a good villain. Yeah. So anyway, something like this. Silver Surfer, from the other side, she had somehow the gray character. So she was not a villain, but when Galactus wanted to eat her planet, she made a deal that I will scout and find new planets for you, and instead don't eat my planet. And then what happens is that Johnny Storm, based on the recordings that they got from different planets, cracks her language. And then with that trick, he could somehow convince her to go to her good side again, turn to her good side. And at the end, we see that she's plays a big role in saving Franklin. I was somehow hoping that they talk more about the multiverse, especially in the post-credit scene of Thunderbolts. We're seeing that the spaceship of Fantastic Four is passing by, so I thought there will be a reference to that one. So it didn't happen, or Richard Reese is working. Reed Richards is working all the way around. Is working in Baxter Foundation, and I guess, if I'm not wrong, it was in the Doctor Strange that they're mentioning this foundation. And the last Doctor Strange movie was literally about the multiverses. So I thought that they will somehow mentioning it. Maybe that would be a way to escape Galactus. But anyway, they Reed Richards was making this moving the planet system. So I think his clothes enough for like going like for somehow entering to the multiverses. So let's see. But that was something that I was wishing to see more, especially because this is one of the last movies before the Avengers movies, and I was a little bit hoping more of these references. Like, now that we're talking about like the Avengers, I would like shortly go to the post-credit scene about Doctor Doom. So the thing that we're seeing that they're showing Doctor Doom, which that was a shouting moment for me in a good way, because I was waiting the whole movie about it's like for something that shows a little bit of either Doctor Doom or like something related to him. So you're seeing that Doctor Doom is sitting next to Franklin, and for a moment I was just like, oh, what if this is the old Doctor Doom and he is like nominating a new Doctor Doom to continue his legacy? But then I thought a little bit, but the names are not matching. And afterwards, honestly, I did not so much about Franklin Richards, so I needed to search about it. And I saw that the relationship between Franklin and Doctor Doom is always very interesting. So in some universes, Doctor Doom is kidnapping the Franklin to hurt Reed Richard. And in the other universes, they are like somehow like fighting, but he is this is actually something very interesting, because for an egoistic character like Doctor Doom, you would not expect that he acknowledges the strength of someone, and Doctor Doom is acknowledging the strength of Franklin, which is for me very interesting. And I saw that in some universes, even Franklin and Doctor Doom are going together to build for a better good, like to build the universe, rebuild the universe, or like helping each other in general for a better good. So I'm so curious, honestly, because I think like in the Avengers, let's just like play guesses. So I think in the next movies, like the Avengers movies I'm in, I think somehow it will be a mix of this. Maybe Doctor Doom is kidnapping Franklin, and at some point that they need, like he needs help, they go hand in hand together and like do something bigger together. I don't know, but I think it will be like the mix of this. But as I said before, because it is one of the last movies before the Avengers, I was expecting more references. Maybe I missed some facts, I don't know, but like, for example, do you remember when Kang's supposed to be the next big villain? There were so many references in different movies, in Loki, in Ant-Man, in so many movies, there were like Kang, and you could build up more like stories, and like you could prepare yourself more for the Avengers. So, but for this one, okay, we know Doctor Doom, but I was not happy that there were not so many, not necessarily about Doctor Doom, but in general about like the Avengers. As a last point, I like to talk about the casting. So Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic, Vanessa Kirby as Invisible Woman. They were perfect. The chemistry was amazing. And I think they could really, like, Pedro Pascal could, like, show the nerdy part of the Reed Richards very good, and at the same time the sensitive part and the family man part. And Vanessa Kirby could show, like, the charm of the Invisible Woman. So in this case was perfect. For me, the Johnny Storm, he was good, so there is no doubt. But honestly, I'm a Chris Evans fan in that case, that I think he was the best Johnny Storm. He was like charming, funny. He was acting a little bit like, not like Reed Richard, let's say that he's super smart, but like he was smart in his own way. So it was really interesting way of acting. And for me, if you ask me what was the best ever like Johnny Storm, I would always say Chris Evans. And I mean, maybe it's an unpopular opinion, but even in my opinion, he was better as Johnny Storm compared to Captain America. I know, like he was very good in Captain America, but if you know the actor himself, he is himself as like in reality, he is very charming and he's very funny. And I guess the way that because he is like this, he could really make a very good Johnny Storm. And I mean, but this is not something against him as a Captain America. Just my opinion that I guess he was a better Johnny Storm. About the Thing, also, he was good. So he was depressed, like all of the things. The thing was, I guess he had less like banter, like maybe like better to say he had like less character showing compared to the other the things that was in previous movies. But anyway, he had a little bit like not a little bit. He had also love interest. I don't know what happened at the end. Like he went to her, which was good, and they talked. But they didn't show what happened to them. So maybe in future also this would be somehow also relatable, or like they say something about it. But in general, the casting was good. The chemistry between the Fantastic Four was perfect. I enjoyed the movie. Although I talked about like the things that was lacking, but I enjoyed the movie. I would give it like 7.5 to 8ish even. Yeah, but let's see what happens next. So I cannot wait for the Avengers movies. I'm really, really excited. So let me know what you think about it. Write in the comment if you found some other hints of Avengers that I missed. I'm so much looking forward to your comments. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe to my channel, activate the bell, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao!